All right, welcome back. So I hope you're enjoying this course. Now comes the main step because we are actually going to begin with the practical steps inside this course. And the first step, a very important step, will be choosing your niche or field if you are not already aware of what you want to do. For example, you might be, let's say, a fitness instructor, right? You might know in a general way which field you want to work in or you're passionate about, but you may not have narrowed down your niche. And narrowing down your niche is very important, as you're going to find out in this video, because till the time you don't have a clear focus of what you want to teach to people, setting up an online coaching business can all go in vain, right? So choosing your niche, making it very focused is very important, and that's what you're going to learn in this video. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go inside our laptop. All right, so let's start the process of choosing your niche or your field. And this is not going to happen too quickly. This will involve some thinking, but here are some pointers which are very important. Okay, the first is when you choose your topic, okay, I'm going to use different words for it. You can call it the niche or your field or your topic. Be broad enough to have an audience, but narrow enough to achieve focus. I'm going to give you some examples of this. This just means don't be too general in your topic. Okay, so let's say you don't just select bodybuilding, for example, that your niche is bodybuilding. No, go into something specific about fitness or about bodybuilding, which will allow you to become an authority easily. If you tackle a big enough field, the problem is that there are so many competitors. It'll be just very tough for you to start this from scratch. And remember, we are focusing on a kind of an online teaching business which you can do by yourself. If you had like a lot of employees, a lot of capital to invest, then obviously you can tackle the bigger niches. But if you're doing this alone, you don't have too much money to spend on your business. That's the kind of people I want to focus on when I'm making this course. So for you, for sure, you have to narrow down your niche, and I'm going to be giving you some examples. Okay, so basically, don't try to be everything for everyone, or you'll be nothing for no one. Okay, this is very important, and it's okay to get it wrong. Don't worry, you don't have to get your niche or field absolutely spot on immediately. Even if you get it wrong initially, but you start the whole process of making your online teaching business, at least you'll understand the whole process, and then later on, once you understand what is your niche or your field, you can apply that same process to it. So you don't have to get it right in the first time. So I just want to take that pressure off you. Okay, but let's see some of the examples by which this particular point will become clear. Okay, so for example, if you take the example of fitness coach, this is not such a great niche to have. Even though we know that fitness coach, there are so many fitness coaches, right? But if you just specialize yourself in one particular kind of fitness, which is also quite popular. For example, if you become an online teacher in the field of Zumba fitness, which is so popular, and you only make online courses or you conduct webinars related to Zumba, okay, you stand a much higher chance for success. The example I can give you for this is, when you go to a doctor, like when you have a certain problem, you always ultimately would like to go to a specialist, not just a general doctor, right? So like a neurosurgeon or someone who specializes in the problem that you're facing. Because remember, wherever the experts are, that's where you're going to make more money, because people want to rely on experts and not on general people. Okay, so always narrow down and just go. And the thing is that if you just choose a very general niche, there's so much of content you'll have to create that it'll be very overwhelming. You'll have to cover everything inside fitness in this example, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to save your energy and focus on something. The opposite side of this is don't also go too narrow. Like for example, you want to become a bodybuilding coach, but only for working professionals or only for certain category of people, right? So that will unnecessarily restrict you to a very narrow audience, and the problem there is that you may not be able to earn enough because there may not be enough demand, because there may not be enough audience for your courses. Okay, so this is a bit tricky. Okay, you have to kind of find that balancing point when you select your niche. Okay, so let's take a few more examples. Like this is closer to me. For example, digital marketing coach, right? This will be too broad. Digital marketing is such a broad field. It has so many different things like SEO, search engine optimization, social media marketing, email marketing, and affiliate marketing. And so many of these things are there that nowadays, at least, you cannot go. Probably if 15 years back, you had chosen digital marketing. That time it was a very new field. You could have easily dominated it all by yourself, but not right now. You'll have to select one particular aspect of it. For example, you can become a Facebook advertising expert for small businesses, right? Then you stand a much higher chance because you come across as a specific person, as a specific contributor and an expert. But also, don't make the mistake of going too narrow, like Facebook advertising expert for small businesses only in the hospitality industry. Okay, so you only consult like that. No, that will be too narrow. So I probably won't suggest this. Even in my case, like if you take the example of this particular thing that I'm doing, it does fall under digital marketing, right? But I have a separate, clear and a specific idea that I am only for online coaches who want to use digital marketing to grow their online coaching business. So I'm very sure of that. And we're also going to be seeing how to validate your niche in some time, how to know how much demand is there for it. But basically, I hope you're getting the point. Let's look at some more examples quickly. Cooking teacher, too broad. Healthy food cooking, yes. Now you can narrow down on your niche, but don't also make it too narrow, like stir fry cooking coach. I mean, obviously this is slightly funny, but you can, right? I mean, there can be different types of stir fry. Also, I'm not sure, but basically don't narrow it down to so much. Career coach, too broad. Career coach for finance professionals, now you can cater to a lot of specific people who are into finance, investment bankers, financial planners, people who want to go into ratio analysis and finance analysis and all these things, okay? So you can completely make your website around it. You have so many opportunities to make different courses for these people because there are so many different types of finance people, but also at the same time, you're not doing for everyone. Otherwise, just imagine here, you'll have to do for HR, you'll have to do for finance, and within those, you'll have to do for all the subtopics. You'll just get overwhelmed, okay? Obviously, career coach for aspiring investment bankers, only investment bankers, probably might not be such a great idea. It'll be too narrow, according to me, okay? But if I had to choose out of like these two, career coach or career coach for aspiring investment bankers, like both are wrong, but I would probably choose this, because this will be too much work, okay? And again, just one more example, investment coach will be too much, but investment coach specializing in real estate investment, that is going to be a huge market. In fact, this is already a huge market. You can go to Google and you can type real estate investment courses, and people are just making crazy amount of money selling these courses where they teach people how to invest in real estate. So there's so many opportunities. I could not really think of the narrow one for this, but I hope you get the point. Now, how do you validate your niche? Before this, I just want to give you my own example from Creative Pad Media. So if you go to my website, Creative Pad Media, you can clearly see just by looking at the subtitle, it says photography and videography courses. That's all we do. Okay, so we don't, if you go down, we have only courses here on different topics of photography and videography. And we also have these classes, but again, only photography and videography. So I don't even, even within this industry, a lot of people who are my competitors, they even cover things like they'll review a lens or review a camera. Reviews are very, very popular. I don't even do that. My business here is very, very focused, which is I teach you how to do something, how to use your camera, how to use this equipment. I don't review anything. I don't talk about any brands. I am not brand specific about something. My job at Creative Pad Media is to tell you how to do photography, how to do videography, how to edit your photos and videos. That's all I focus on. I would even say I have chosen just a very slightly broader niche, okay? But it's okay. At least it's not everything related to photography and videography. I'm just absolutely narrowed down on this. Maybe I can only focus on photography, which, by the way, I did for a long time. I only went into videography just around 2 years back, 2.5 years back, okay? So once you are comfortable with your business, you feel like you've got the expertise, then you can easily even start to diversify a bit. There's nothing wrong in that. But overall, be an expert, be a specific expert. That's what you need to know, okay? Now, how do you validate your niche? That means, how do you come to know whether there's enough demand for this? So one of the best ways to do that is go to a site like Udemy, where people sell their courses. So if I go to udemy.com, just search for anything. So for example, let's say I'm a yoga teacher and I just want to validate whether there is enough demand for people who buy online yoga courses. Okay, so I can go here, I can type yoga. And just see how many courses you're getting. Okay, so you can see if I search for yoga, I start to get these courses here. Okay, the Yoga of Awakening internationally accredited diploma in yoga training. You can see this course has 1,487 people who have given reviews for it. Yoga, again yoga challenge, you can see. So that means you can come to know that so many people are enrolling. That means there is demand for this niche, right? So Udemy is a great way to find out, because if people are already making courses about your topic, they're already selling it, they're getting good reviews, then obviously that means there's demand and there's no reason why you can't make something better than them and completely take over, okay? And another way is like you can go to Google. So the second way is use Google to see the demand. Go to Google and just type like something like learn yoga online. And what you are looking here, apart from these links that you're seeing, so you can see free online yoga, there are people doing this, the best online yoga classes of 2020. That means there is demand for this. But one of the ways you can make sure of this is if you start seeing ads when you search for Google. So ad will either be here or it'll be at the top, okay? What ads mean is that, there is someone who is advertising on Google and selling their online yoga classes, okay? So let's open up this website, for example. If they're paying money to Google to run this ad, that means they are expecting money to come back also to them. That means they're expecting these courses to sell. That's been their experience. That means if you see an ad, it's an automatic way to verify that there is an existing demand for your niche, okay? And you can see here, this looks pretty good. There's a course here, and once you sign up this form, you'll probably get access and all the details of it. But basically the point is there is demand for this field. So Google and through Udemy, you can come to know whether there's demand for your course or not. Now, what if you are not able to validate? Maybe you really are passionate about a topic, but you are not sure of whether it has enough of this validation method didn't really work out. In that case, well, nobody can really say anything, but you will slightly be taking a risk because you are venturing out in a field which is probably not proven because there are not other people doing it or not a lot of other people doing it, but it's okay. As I'm slightly a bold coach, so I would say take the leap of faith and go for it. These online coaching businesses don't involve too much investment. You just have to buy a website and a few softwares, which I'll be telling you about. This you can do it from your savings, absolutely no problem. So the money part, there's no problem. Yes, you'll be investing some time, but it's okay. Even if you get it wrong, no problem. You learn the process of everything, of this whole online coaching setting up process. And then you can select a field later on, which is slightly a more wiser decision. So sometimes it's just learning through trial and error. But if you're really passionate about your field, think on the positive side. What if it works? You'll be the first person who becomes an authority in that field. And to be a pioneer in any field just puts you at a massive advantage. So I would say take a leap of faith if you really believe in your topic or niche and you were not able to validate it, okay? But you will be taking a slight risk, right? But one of the most important points I want to talk to you about, which I mentioned before, is you have to ask yourself this question: why? And I cannot emphasize this more, that this is a very, very important point, okay? To choose a niche around your passion is perhaps one of the most important things. Why? Because it has a logical reason behind it. In this industry, okay, you have to do one thing, which is you have to create content consistently. Content can be let's say you're creating books, you're creating online courses, you're creating webinars, you're creating blog articles. There's a lot of ways to do it, okay? But any method that you choose will involve a lot of content creation. And I have seen this personally. I can tell you this from first-hand experience. If you are not passionate about your topic, you run out of steam pretty quickly, okay, when it comes to content creation. So don't only focus on money. It's not just only about money, okay? You also have to see what is your heart into this topic or not, because that will ensure your sustainability. Yes, you can earn money in the short term, but what about sustaining this business? That comes from your passion, okay? And when I say passion, there's another very important component of this, which is, I'm not just saying whether you're passionate about it, okay? You have to ask this very important question: do I really want to change someone else's life through my teaching? If the answer is yes, and you're passionate about that topic, that is the perfect fit. Okay, I'll give you an example of this. I'm very passionate about football. Right? I watch a lot of football. I play a lot of football, and I thought in 2012-13, when I told you before, I created the website called soccerquick.com, where I was writing articles on how to play football. And I thought this is perfect for me because I'm passionate about football, and this will be the perfect niche for me. Well, the problem was, which I realized later, I ran out of steam pretty quickly. And the reason for that was I was passionate about football, but I was not passionate about teaching football and making a change in my students' life. That is a very, very important point. It's not just about what you're passionate about. Do you also want to impact other people through that teaching? Do you enjoy that process? Do you enjoy that thought? And if you have that thought with you, then that will be the perfect business to choose for you. And like I mentioned before, it's okay if you can't think of all these things and you're not able to find a niche where everything fits together, right? It's okay to get it wrong. The point is just think of all this before. But out of everything that you went through about niche selecting, I would say this is the most important point from all that you have to be passionate about it and you have to really like the impact that you're making. Okay, that will keep you happy, and a happy business is a sustainable business. Okay, so that was the point I wanted to make. I hope I've been able to give you some clarity. I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue with this course. Bye for now.